Good evening, parents, families, and community. Thank you for joining us tonight. We have a show filled with talent, creativity, uniqueness, and above all, the voices of our students. Tonight, students will give us a taste of reality from their perspectives, and they will share their cultural backgrounds with all of you. Speaking of reality and perspectives, the COVID-19 pandemic has pulled back the curtain on social and systemic disparities in our national and global communities. For many of us, we've not only known the existence of these disparities, but they've unfairly have impacted our lives and for many have become their normal. We've lived in two worlds. Our nation has struggled with the notion that diversity and multiculturalism is at the cornerstone of who we are as a nation of immigrants, our identity. Over the past months, we've seen members of our community killed for the color of their skin by those who swore to protect and to serve. We've seen our leaders put political agendas at the forefront of health and safety of the constituents they themselves swore to serve and to uphold. And discrimination in this country has unfortunately been disguised as patriotism. And through all the darkness and hurt, there's been the light of local and state leaders across the nation speaking up and activating change. And even more importantly, the light of our young people who are now shouting for change because they weren't heard when they spoke up, who are out there advocating for justice and for action. Our young people that amid a pandemic and the injustices are out there working and putting their lives at risk, where they're delivering food, working at local stores, and providing the essential services needed for our city to keep running. They continue to push for diversity and for justice. A big shout out to all of the students and staff who are the pioneers of this new reality. They have spent the last few weeks preparing tonight's event. I thank you for allowing us to enter the greatest stage of all, your homes. Please sit back, grab a snack and beverage of your choosing, and enjoy.
I can breathe. Please, the name of it.
Well out of control continued until dawn. And throughout, looting was equally rampant. Minneapolis today, with its charred remnants of last night's riot.
Fired at, gassed, and shoved.
The United States of America is unravelling for all the world to see as race riots leave many of the nation's biggest cities burning in almost unimaginable scenes.
The violence, the anger, and the flames.
I am your president.
I'm Chris Hayes. In sheer numbers, the coronavirus outbreak is worse than it has ever been.
So on the coronavirus, including this breaking news overnight, Wisconsin's Supreme Court struck down the state's stay.
Coronavirus is a pandemic. There are now more than 120,000 known cases in 114 countries.
In Los Angeles, the nation's second largest district says schools should stay closed next month.
Governor Laura Kelly ordered all schools in the state closed for the remainder of the school year.
and thank you for joining us today. My name is Dayanari and I'll be your MC for tonight.
My name is Matthew and I will also be your MC for tonight.
We would like to welcome you to this year's Multicultural program. We know these are uncertain times in our world, so today we hope that we're able to uplift your spirit and assure that the younger generation will be the change that we need.
We would also like to give a big thank you to Miss Jessica Rodas, the program director, Miss Ursula Carrillo, the event organizer, Mr. Cecil Criswell, the multicultural director, Mr. Jarvis, our stage manager, and a big shout out to our various funders who made this great opportunity possible.
Thank you for joining us today, and we hope that you enjoy the show.
To start off the show today, we have an amazing team skit about deportation in America, produced by Giselle, Daniel, and Olivia. We hope you enjoy.
You are going to encounter two young girls who have recently been separated from their parents and are now trying to not get separated because they only have each other.
Rosa, I'm scared. What are we gonna do?
I don't know. We have nowhere to go ever since our parents got deported.
Well, for now, we should try to get food.
Maybe we can try to get a job.
Look, there's a hair salon over there. Maybe we can get a job there.
Hey, you two, what are you doing?
Is there a problem, officer?
Yes, you two are on private property?
This isn't private property.
Yeah, and we're not doing anything wrong.
Did I say you were doing anything wrong? Your ID, please, both of you.
I'm sorry, officer, but I don't have my ID on me right now.
I don't have mine either.
Of course you don't. And looks like you're gonna have to come with me. What are your guys' names?
My name is Elizabeth and her name is Rosa.
Age?
We're both 15.
Blood relation?
We're cousins.
What about your parents so I can contact them?
Our parents?
Yes, your parents. Did I study?
They're busy right now. You won't be able to contact them.
Busy, huh? Mm-hmm.
Elizabeth, what are we going to do? If he finds out that our parents got deported, they're going to separate us.
We have to try to convince him to let us go.
If you don't tell me the name of your parents, then I'm gonna just have to separate you both anyway, so you might as well just tell me.
Fine, you can't contact our parents because they've been deported.
Deported, huh? Well, either way, I'll just separate you both. Officer, come here, take this one. I got the other one.
No, wait, please, you can't separate us. We only have each other.
Children ages 5 to 17. In Guatemala, there are 1,423. In Honduras, there's been 848. El Salvador, there's been 179. In Brazil, there's been 43. Mexico, 30. And in other places, there's been 28. All these children were reunited to their families after being separated.
If we stay together,
there will be change. Thank you.
What an amazing and powerful message that you guys gave out. Now we will have Chi-Chi and Grace perform a poem entitled Between the Lines.
The Declaration of Independence, which was drafted in 1776, is so controversial, especially in relation to today's time. So, with that being said, within this poem, we would like to show you what the Declaration of Independence really means in between the lines.
We hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal. Unless you're black, a woman, or LGBTQ, then you're considered evil. That all men are endowed with their Creator certain inalienable rights, that among these are life. Unless you're a black man. That to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, driving their just powers and the consent of the governed. False. And that whenever any form of government be constructive at these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or abolish it, but till it to innocents were shot with bullets.
And to institute new government, laying its foundations on such principles and organizing its powers in such form, as to them shall affect their safety and happiness. Psh, the effects are negative unless you're rich and white. such has been the patient sufferance of these colonies, and such is now the necessity which constrains them to alter their former systems of government. The minorities of America must fight to change the unjust government that only benefits the white man. The history of the present king of Great Britain is a history of repeated injuries and usurpations. Does that sound like anybody?
Make America great again? When was America ever great? When Native people were murdered? When Black people were put in chains? When Hispanic people were put in cages? When Black men are shot like cattle? And mind you, by the same people who are sworn to protect us.
Make America great again? You mean make America white ruled again? America was made by the minorities for the majority that hate us, degrade us, but praise the culture that made us. America was never great, but we can change that. All we need to do is educate.
What a great performance by the Team Poem. Up next is a musical duet by Santana and Jesse. They will be performing Stand By Me by Benny King. Enjoy.
2020 so far has been a dreadful and disappointing year, to say the least. Only 4 months in, and people have to quarantine to stop and prevent a deadly virus, which is now global, from spreading. But still, somehow, each day, people are getting more affected. Destructive riots that cause even more conflict and violence, which influence ignorance and just injustice in general of any kind.
We choose Stand By Me as our song because it expresses through the tough times standing by the people you love. It's crucial, especially during times right now.
Stand by me when we fall. Stand by me when we stand in victory. Through the dark times we'll be tall. If the world may crumble and fall, I'll still stand tall as a monogamist. I get those goosebumps every time you come around. Mario Kart, I'm beating fast. Stand by me through it all. Stand by me till the end. You ease my mind, you make everything feel fine. Champagne, not Dom Perignon. Been taking L's for no reason. Sophisticated like she in the upper echelon for no reason. Jealousy, envy, and greed. Too much of it that I don't need. Stand by me at all times. Stand by me in glory. But yeah, I want you all to myself. You're all that I need. I keep thinking and being afraid by my mental mori. Stand by me when we thrive. Stand by me when we flourish in serotonin marathon. What do I gotta prove? Hard like an English test. Storm comes, light shines. We'll stand together. Support me, support you like the Kushan Grand Pillars. Stand by me in Semper Fidelis. Stand by me in war. We'll stand like Bonnie and Clyde. Never fold, never bend. No running out of love like Kodak Black. Just us, we'll stand during it all.
Incredible cover of Stand By Me from Santana and Jesse. For our next act, we will have a very informational discussion with our news reporters, Sierra, Shamo, and Mauricio.
Our performance shows the flaws in our countries and how we can learn from other countries to fix those flaws.
Hello, and welcome to AYOWT News. Our top stories today are how well the U.S. does in healthcare, education, and police enforcement compared to some other countries around the world. First, we're going to talk about Germany. Germany ensures that 100% of its residents are guaranteed healthcare, while the U.S. is far less regulated, leaving up to 25% of Americans uninsured or underinsured, and everyone having to pay costly and sometimes debilitating out-of-pocket expenses. Now, every German resident is required to belong to an insurance collective. Workers pay half of their insurance, while the employers pay the other half. The German government pays for the unemployed and children. There are also limits to out-of-pocket fees. Now, all this, up until this point, should sound familiar, because this is roughly what the laws say in the U.S. However, the U.S. is ranked number 27 in healthcare around the world, while Germany is ranked number 5. Are you okay with the fact that two countries, many of the same laws, have such a significant difference in healthcare? If not, you can try volunteering at a free clinic, donating to nonprofits, and voting for politicians that support a change in our healthcare system. Another program is education in Asia compared to the U.S. This will take us to China, where Shamu is now.
Thanks, Sierra. Here in China, I can truly say that the focus on education is immense. There are private tutors and students working hard even after their schools have dismissed them. This is why China is the #1 ranked country in terms of education. They have an education score of 1731. Compare that to the US with only a score of 1489. It's even more baffling to think that the US spends $9,800 more per student. This is because of China's robust private tutoring market that makes about $238 billion a year. This just shows the extent that the parents of these students are willing to go in order for their child to succeed academically. Chinese and Asian cultures in general prioritize education. They think that with education, you can get a good life and make a good living. But not only the families believe this, the government believes this as well. They work to educate and prepare people to enter the workforce. And unlike the US, where the top colleges are private, most of the top colleges in China are public, and the tuition is only $3,500 to $9,000, whereas in the US, it is $5,000 to $38,000. If you're not okay with this, please remember to vote and support cheaper and more accessible education. Going back to you, Sierra.
Thank you, Shamu. Our final story takes place in Mexico. Here, we're looking at how much each country spends on their police force compared to the country's total crime rate. Let's hear more about this. Mauricio?
That's right. Having been born in the US and parents from Mexico, I've had a first-hand look at the differences and similarities between these two countries' police forces. For starters, Mexico spends an estimated $242 million on municipal police compared to the US's shocking $115 billion. To put this in perspective, $100 billion is enough to put roughly 750,000 students through American colleges for 4 years. Because the US spends so much of their money on their police department, we can see how much they value the protection of their citizens. But looking at the country's two crime rates, we can see that Mexico had a crime rate of 1,400 and the US had a crime rate of 390 per 100,000 inhabitants in the year 2011. Just hearing those statistics, you would think that Mexico is much more crime-ridden, but you must take into account the population of both countries. Mexico had an estimated population of 115 million, compared to the US's 310 million. With this in mind, we can see that the US had much more crimes in the year 2011 compared to Mexico. Seeing how the US spends a significant more amount of money on the police system but still has more crimes is rather concerning. Something that could account for this is the nationwide average time to become a police officer is 620 hours. But in some states such as Louisiana, it is as low as 360 hours. Are you okay with it taking longer to become a barber than a police officer? If not, you can write letters and emails to your local representatives demanding more rigorous police training. Back to you, Sierra.
And that is it for our different countries and how they relate to the US. Now, as you sit at home, watching what's going on around the world, I ask you, are you okay with this?
That was a very informational and entertaining news broadcast. And up next is a puppet show called The Origins of Schneeberger by Ricky and Tony.
This is a story of two boys who have been teased because of their last name. They didn't like this, so they approached this conflict by educating others on the meaning and history of their last name, because knowing the significant information that one might learn from someone's last names can tell a lot about a person's culture, ethnic background, and roots. This story begins one day at lunch when Ricky and Tony were filling out the Saturday Academy program application.
Hey Ricky, I was thinking, for my Saturday Academy application, I could just put S instead of Schneeberger.
Why would you ever do that? Put Schneeberger, since it's our last name. Us Ricky and Tony were talking to each other. The bully overheard the conversation and decided to take advantage by making fun of them.
Hey, why you have such a weird name? Schneeberger. Sounds like cheeseburger. Ha 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 ha! What a weird name!
The name isn't weird. On the contrary, it has its origin in Switzerland, where it came from humble beginnings but gained a reputation for its contribution to emerging medieval society.
It later became more prominent as many branches of the same house acquired distant estates and branches, some in foreign countries, always elevating their social status by their great contributions to society.
The name Schneeberger means one who came from Schneeberg.
And Schneeberg means snow mountain in German. So what does it mean snow mountain? Your last name still sounds weird.
Well, we don't really know why Schneeberger means snow mountain. We do know the first part, Schnee is snow in German, and Berg is mountain in German. This could mean that our ancestors were the great people of the snow mountains of Germany, who made great contributions to their society.
Oh wow! Your last name has a cool story. So I wonder if my last name has a cool story too. I'm sorry, now I know and understand your story.
It's all fine, dude.
A lot of people didn't know about the origins of it, which is why we cannot judge a person by their last name, by the way they look, or by their background.
Last names convey cultural information. First, it helps distinguish you from everyone else. Second, it gives you a background about who you are, your history, and your heritage. Third, it's something you pass from generation to generation.
What an amazing and creative way to inform the public about the origins of Schneeberger. For our next act, we'll be having an African fashion exhibit and cultural conversation with Chi-Chi and Stacia.
Hi everyone, my name is Chinagam, or you can call me Chi-Chi. I'm just one of the two girls that's in the African exhibit. And today, you're going to be watching us model some African clothes, as well as answer some assumptions and questions that you guys put in the survey that we put out. I really hope you enjoy.
Hi, my name is Stacia, and I will also be one of the girls that will be showing you my African or Nigerian outfit and answering some of the questions that you guys put in the survey that we put out. So, let's get on to the video.
Another assumption that we got, reading off what they said, it's a diverse place of multiple languages, and you're 100% correct. Africa has a total of 1,500 to 2,000 languages, with the top 10 being Swahili, Amharic, Yoruba, Oromo, Hausa, Igbo, isiZulu, Shona, Arabic, Portuguese, and French. And there are also up to 3,000 different tribes in Africa. And language and dialect completely depends on the tribe and the region.
This particular dress was made in June of 2019. It's a cocktail or formal wear dress. It's very elastic and soft, and as you can see, it's not really more of a traditional African clothing. It's more modern, and you can see that it's very popular in African culture to have African patterns, but modern clothing.
Somebody said that Africa is a place with multiple languages and lots of diversity, and you're correct. It really is. There's, as China Chi-Chi has stated, there are many cultures and many genres of people and languages in Africa. Some of them speak the same languages, some of them can understand, some of them can comprehend, kind of, because it's similar, but it's different in all different types of ways. And as you can see, it's more of a new style of Nigerian clothing. You can wear it as a skirt, a shirt, and you can wear it in many ways as shirts. And this is, I guess, a more of an updated or new generation style of the clothing.
One of the first assumptions about Africa is reading off of what they said right here. Some assumptions I have about the African culture is most of the country is in poverty, lack of education, and lack of nutrients. And simply put, Africa is one of the most wealthiest continents in the world, and it has multiple natural resources such as diamonds, gold, silver, ore, coal, uranium, natural gases, cobalt, iron, and cocoa beans, but it is heavily
exploited by Western countries such as the United States. This dress is also a very modern style of dress. It is very simple. It is more of a formal wear. It's very soft and elastic. It's a little bit big on me in this. When I'm modeling it, it has some rhinestones at the front, and it's very soft and actually very comfortable.
Somebody asked, what does the color scheme stem from? So each of the different cultures or different, I guess, countries in Africa have different patterns and styles depending on where they are. So maybe some of them have more of a jagged retro patterns and maybe they're darker, and then some like Nigeria have big colors pop, and then they're also known for their velvet or their lace that they put in some of their cultural wear.
A gili on my head. This is it from all around. But I have a gili and I have a traditional Nigerian fan. My mother hand wrapped the gili on my head, and we got the feathered fan straight from Africa.
Alright everyone, that concludes our video. Thank you so much for tuning in, and thank you so much for watching. I really hope you learned something and you enjoyed.
Wow, what an amazing way to show off fashion and African culture. And now for more women empowerment, we have a team poem by Dainari, Sarai, Kaya, Jacqueline, and Jesus called The Power of Women. Enjoy.
Throughout history, women have been pushed down by society, especially in the Latino, Chinese, and American culture. We were not able to vote until 1920 here in the US. And even now, society tries to control us. They try to silence us and put us back into the house just as our ancestors did. Yet today, we say no more. We stand up for the women in all cultures to remind them of the power that they have. As a kid, I was always gifted toy kitchens, vacuums, and dishes for practice, because that's the reality. I was taught to serve the men in the house their dinner first, because that's the reality. Little girls don't get the chance to be little girls. They're expected to be mature, do as told, cook and clean. While on the other hand, boys will be boys. They will grow up with the same misogynistic mindset that's been implied since we were little girls. Women are told how to think, how to act, and how they should feel. But the reality is, women weren't ever meant to serve men. Women hold power and knowledge, and women are more than society sought us out to be.
All women are beautiful, yet some women are seen as objects, as maids, as disposable things. Yet we're beautiful things that give birth to life. Beautiful women that overcome so many obstacles. The Hispanic culture thinks women have to be at home cooking, being the housemaid. Chinese culture thinks that men are superior and throw away newborn baby girls. We're the people that step up when no one does. We're the foundation of every male and every woman. We're the foundation of every life. We are women and we are powerful. All women are beautiful.
Women aren't some kind of object. They are meant to be housewives or someone to keep the house looking nice. Women are independent people. They are capable of doing many things, much more than cleaning a house. Women are such outgoing people. They will get things done if they need to and work multiple jobs. Women are extraordinary people, so appreciate the women in your life because they have done so much more for you than you think.
Women show power in many different ways. Their power can last for days and days and days. Women's power lets them get through tough things in life, whether they are a young girl, teenager, or even a wife. Women go through things every day, but their power help leads them in the right way. Women's power allows them to never give up even when things happen that empty their cups. Women's power makes them so strong even when people treat or do them wrong. Women's power gets them through tough situations that are hard. That's why women's power are their #1 guard. Women's power is with them every second of the hour. That's why you should never underestimate women's power.
Women were seen as much back then. They were nothing more than baby makers. That was the thought of women.
Women were also seen as servants to men to please their needs, like making coffee, looking like a flower, and being a housewife. But over time, they started to be strong and independent, showing their society that they don't need men in their lives to function. They started to believe in themselves that they could do more, which thanks to that, and their strong will, they were able to persevere, and now women can do as much as men, if not more.
At this moment in time, we see a lot of uncertainties. We don't feel safe. We see women getting abused left and right. We see how society diminishes our rights. We hope that you are willing to fight for women in your life, just as they have fought for you.
All women are powerful and beautiful and should be treated like it.
And a big thanks to all the powerful women in my life. I appreciate you.
I am a powerful woman.
I am a powerful woman.
I am a powerful woman.
Thank you, ladies, for that powerful poem. And now, on our very own cooking show called Quench Your Cultural Thirst, featuring Master Chefs Tori, Matthew, Alexia, Stacia, and Frida, who will teach you how to make different drinks.
In this TikTok compilation, we will be showing you guys how to make some sweet drinks that bring people within our cultures together.
We'll be making horchata today.
My cultural connected to horchata is that it's a refreshing drink that is enjoyed by many Hispanic households and is mainly made during the summer. And it's a staple for my family, and I enjoy it.
1 cup rice, 2 cups water, and blend for 1 minute. Let sit for 3 hours. After 3 hours, pour into a bigger bowl. Next, add 1 cup of milk, 2 tablespoons of sugar, a little bit of cinnamon, stir over ice, and enjoy.
I'm going to be showing you how to make kanu aya.
Tiger nuts are often used in various ways of traditional Nigerian cuisines, but the beverage kanu aya or tiger nut milk is particularly well loved. It is very easy to make, requiring nothing more than tiger nuts and water, with the addition of spices and natural sweeteners like jaggery or honey elevates the humble tiger nut milk into something positively delicious. Kanu aya is one of the first drinks cultivated by early humans, and they remain a traditional food source and nourishments of West Africa and Spain.
First, put the tiger nuts and cinnamon into a bowl with warm water. Let sit for 12 to 24 hours. Transfer the tiger nuts and the cinnamon into a blender until made a paste. Next, chill in the refrigerator for 30 to 45 minutes. Next, add 1 cup of milk and 2 tablespoons of sugar. Next, blend. Look at how beautiful that is. Let chill in the fridge once again, then take out and serve over ice. Enjoy!
Today I'll be showing you how to make agua fresca de mar. Aguas frescas translates to fresh waters. It originated in Mexico and got popular in both Central America and the United States. The history of aguas frescas can date back all the way to the time of the Aztecs. During their journey to Tenochtitlan, they muddled up fruit and water to fuel up and have lots of energy. Now, this drink is sold by street vendors in the streets of Mexico and used as a summer drink everywhere else. You'll be needing 2 cups of peeled and chopped mangoes, along with a half a cup of sugar, and around 5 cups of water. First, you would want to peel the mangoes. You want to chop up your mangoes. Once you have chopped up your 2 cups of mangoes and you've gotten your half a cup of sugar, pour them into the blender. And 5 cups of water, and blend. You will blend until you have a fine and smooth texture. Pour it into a glass with ice, and enjoy!
We're gonna make some Korean banana milk now.
In the 1970s, the Korean government wanted to encourage their citizens to drink more milk, and at the time, bananas were considered a luxury and very expensive. So, banana-flavored milk was introduced.
1 sliced banana, half a cup of milk, half cup of water, a tablespoon of maple syrup, a drop of vanilla.
Blend.
Serve over ice.
Cheers!
Now I'm going to show you how to make agua de Jamaica.
Some background information of agua de Jamaica is that it didn't originally come from Mexico. It came from Africa and India. And although it's not used as much over there, it's mostly used now in Mexico for agua frescas, which is fresh waters in English.
So your first step is going to be to add 2 liters of water to boil. Your second step is going to be to wash 2 cups of Jamaica flowers. So now you add the 2 cups of flowers and let them boil for 10 minutes. So now that it's been 10 minutes, you let the flowers cool down. And now you strain the flowers. And when the flowers are done straining, add the water to ice. Once you add the sugar, you're done. And now you mix. And your water's done. Enjoy!
Wow, what great cooks they were, showing their culture through food. Now for our next act, we have a skit with Aaliyah, Alfonso, and Laku called Politically Incorrect. Enjoy.
As our society faces the growing pressures of COVID-19, racial tensions, and the uncertainty of the future, it is up to the younger generation to step up and ensure that not only is the information we consume through the internet and media factually accurate, but also that we hear the voices of everyone in our communities. While some might discredit the realities and hardships that these pressures force upon certain people, we should strive to show others a taste of reality for African Americans, Asians, and many others.
When it applied for this loan, there's no way to say where those businesses stand today or in a few months.
Hey, y'all. Welcome back to Politically Incorrect, where we say no to ignorance and yes to reality. Today's show is going to be really special, so why don't y'all just sit back, grab your popcorn, and enjoy the show. First off, we got La Ku. She got lots to say, so y'all should listen to her.
Name Kung Flu.
What Donald Trump just said and posted is wrong. We should not be calling it the Chinese virus or the Kung Flu. These terms are racist and can cause people to misunderstand and place the blame on Asians. The World Health Organization has guidelines in place for when naming a disease. One of these guidelines is not including the geographic location of where the disease was found. The reason for this is because hate crimes do happen when the name of a disease targets a specific group of people.
Side note!
My own personal experience with racism, happened as I was growing up. Classmates would think that I was smart because I was Asian, and the fact that I'm visually impaired only strengthened that stereotype. There are going to be people that will apologize for what they've said and they will learn from it. But then there are also going to be people who will become defensive and words will not get through to them because they're too busy trying to explain themselves.
Sorry, but I think that was a very racist comment.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Wow, great. I said you dropped your coronavirus.
Yeah.
I never even meant. I've said it to 10 different people.
Second, we have Alfonso, and he's, yeah.
You literally cannot mandate somebody to wear a mask knowing that that mask is killing people. It literally is killing people.
Hold up. What?
So regarding the notion that masks are killing people, there's no current evidence to support that claim. Everyone else, please wear your masks, especially for those who are most at risk, such as the elderly, anyone with underlying breathing conditions, or even certain races who get affected disproportionately, such as African Americans and Latinos. Please wear a mask. Now, I get it, wearing a mask, it can get kind of tedious, but think of it as wearing pants in a Zoom meeting. You might not think it's necessary, but when a time comes, you should really wear it.
But what I see in the leaders of the Black Lives Matter movement is a political agenda of the radical left that would defund the police, that would
leave that out of it, just
tear
the
down
phrase.
monuments, that would press a radical left agenda.
There are many aspects here to unpack. Firstly, there's nothing wrong about wanting equal treatment from the police. It's simple. It should be human fact. Secondly, it's not like everyone's just tearing down every statue they see, acting like Oprah or something out here. You get tear down, you get tear down, you get tear down. No, it's simply ensuring that we as a society don't keep up symbols of racism and hate.
Lastly, we got Aaliyah, and she'll give it to you 100% straight up.
Lives Matter wants to run the country, therefore you can freely criticize Black Lives Matter. Those are the rules of our system, but not anymore. Imagine a world where you are punished for questioning the behavior of the president or for insulting your local mayor. You probably can't imagine that. It's too bizarre. It's un-American.
Funny that Tucker would draw this conclusion on Black Lives Matter when a 3-second Google search to blacklivesmatter.com states that Black Lives Matter Foundation is a global organization in the U.S., UK, and Canada whose mission is to eradicate white supremacy and build local power to intervene in violence inflicted on Black communities by the state and vigilantes. So maybe I'm reading too much into it, but seems like only a white supremacist would hate to be criticized by an activist group against white supremacy. Tucker later tries to use the example of a principal being fired over a Facebook post where she stated, "While I understand the urgency to feel compelled to advocate for Black Lives Matter, what about our fellow law enforcement?" Tucker funnily ignores that the post is tone deaf and paints Black Lives Matter as a movement that wants censorship, when in actuality, the principal was fired unanimously by the school board. But Tucker is right. It is un-American to be punished by your own president for questioning them, which is exactly why Twitter had to mark this tweet with abusive behavior.
Thanks for tuning in today. With this newfound knowledge, I hope that you go out the world with the realization of the realities that many people are facing today. Thank you very much.
Thank you to the interns for that powerful message. And to end the night, we will have two great singers, Mateo and Grace, perform the song Lovely by Billie Eilish and Khalid.
Hello, my name is Mateo and I'll be singing with Grace. Our song is called Lovely by Billie Eilish and Khalid. The song represents pop culture and how people with differences can come together and work with each other to create things for people to enjoy around the world. So I hope you enjoyed the song cover we did.
Thought I found a way. I thought I found a way, yeah. But you never go away. So I guess I gotta stay now. Oh, I hope someday I'll make it out of here, even if it takes all night or 100 years. Need a place to hide, but I can't find one walking out of town, looking for a better place. Something's on my mind, always in my headspace, but I know someday I'll make it out of here, even if it takes all night or 100 years in a place to hide. But I can't find one near when I feel alive outside. I can't find my feelings. Isn't it lovely? Alone, heart made of glass, my mind of stone. Tear me to pieces, skin and bone. Our love will come home.
Our reality is beautiful and truly heartbreaking. I find beauty in the faces that I see, the colors, the culture, and the life that surrounds me. Beauty in the smiles, just like the time we share, but there's also a harsh reality. The violence, the racism, and the disgrace against minorities, the inequalities, and the unfairness around me. This is beauty, but heartbreak in my reality.
This is a quote from Gandhi that I feel is relevant to these times, and it says, "Be the change that you wish to see in the world."
My reality is trusting and loving, without prejudice.
Our differences shouldn't be the thing that's tearing us apart. It should be the thing that keeps us together.
Everyone should be treated equally and the same because in the end we are all human.
I think that we should celebrate everyone's cultures, and learning about new ones helps us further grow and expand.
I hope in the next generation we will all strive to do what is right, but it all starts now on what we decide to do in the present.
Our reality is a reflection of us, and to change that, we need to change as a whole.
In order for us to have a change in our future, we must all stand up for each other.
Fighting alone will get you nowhere, so we must join hands and fight together for what's right.
Women's power are with them every second of the hour. That's why you should never underestimate a woman's power.
Call to prevent school shootings. I want to see change in the gun safety policies. The reason for this is that I see too many students with bright futures cut in half.
In reality, we should have freedom and liberty, not this mess we have. We should be safe and have protection.
And grove the words of our history to make a switch to enrich, because without unity, there cannot and will not be a community.
Working together to build a stronger community should be the new reality.
We need a new reality, and to make change in the world. We need to be more united and not go against each other. More love and peace is all we need.
We hear the chanting down the street, asking ourselves in our mind if we should join or just watch from the side.
Compassion and equality is a wider road to normalcy.
There is strength and beauty in diversity, and standing together truly united is a superpower that nobody can take away from us. Because what makes us different also makes us beautiful and strong. We cannot win this if we all play on different teams.
Inspiring a new generation of people that can lead with acceptance, inclusion, and welcomeness.
In order to progress as a society, we must learn to speak out and take action.
Right now, our reality is full of hate. Our new reality should be a place where people view the world through a lens of acceptance and empathy.
Even though we're in a time of doubt and worry, we should stand together and create a better reality.
Culture to culture, we are different, but times like this bring us together for now and forever.
So
So, in the society of tomorrow, I want to see families value their time with each other, because you never know what tomorrow might bring. Now turn to the people around you and thank them for being part of your life and supporting you.
Instead of leaving it behind in the past, we should stand up and not let it happen in the future.
Don't be afraid to educate the people around you, regardless if it burns bridges. Step up and speak up.
Reality is what we make it be. It can change, and so can we.
Protesting and finally getting change implemented for the better. That's what gives me hope. Hope that one day all of our hard work wouldn't have been for nothing. To think that the impossible could finally be plausible.
Through our students' performances, we hope that you come away with a taste of what reality should be: listening, learning, understanding, and collaborating.
Thank you, Mr. Criswell, and thank you, students, for that taste of reality. Thank you for sharing your hearts, minds, your voice, and the beautiful cultures with us. Our future is bright knowing that you are our future leaders. Thank you to the families who continue to move forward and know we are in this together and walk alongside you. Thank you to everyone out there who are joining us tonight at the 2020 Multicultural Night, A Taste of Reality event. Have a wonderful night, and please practice safe distancing precautions stated by our health officials and the CDC to keep you safe. By wearing a mask when you are in public, maintaining a 6-foot distance, washing your hands for 20 seconds, and disinfecting surfaces around you, and staying home when you are sick, cough, you can help stop the spread of COVID-19 to yourself, your families, and your community's brothers and sisters. Have a wonderful night, and thank you.